Hey, what is up, guys? It's your boy, Kingdom Soldier, and this is the first ever inaugural episode of my brand new weekly Call of Duty Esports update show, the STiKS. And what I'm going to be doing on this show each week is I'm going to highlight some big things that have happened in Call of Duty that week. I'm also going to update you guys on the videos that I have personally uploaded that week. And normally, I will have someone on the show with me. Now, the amount of technical difficulties that have happened and the reason that Alex Rage is not here, you can see that there's a little box with his name on it. He's actually a caster for local Call of Duty lands and Gfinity and stuff like that in the UK. And he was going to come on and give us, what has been going on in the COD Champs qualifiers in the UK. The call kept getting dropped, and I didn't want to delay this show for you guys for another week. You guys, if you know, the difference between my time and his time is 8 hours. And so right now it's midnight where I live, and so it's 8 o'clock in the morning where he's at in the UK, and he had to go to work. And so we just had to, he couldn't do it, and I tried to get a substitute, but ultimately I wanted to make sure that I launched the show for you guys. I do want to thank Hex for giving me the idea for the show, and so in coming weeks I'm going to have all kinds of people on here, and it's going to be great. I did want to give a shout out to my boy Goalie TV, who made this whole layout and everything you see, all of the graphics. These were all made by him. This was conceptualized, designed by him. He has a website. He does, Twitter avatars and backgrounds. He does YouTube avatars and backgrounds. He does YouTube thumbnails, intros for videos, and he's got all of his prices and everything like that on there. He's awesome. He's one person that you will eventually see on the show. His team played in the qualifier today, and I believe made it all the way to round 4 before they lost. They were top 64, I believe, or something like that. So good job, Goalie. Thank you very much for this background and everything that you've given me. And so I'm excited to do the show for you guys, and you can see that there are some topics over there, and I'm just going to run them from top to bottom like Sports Center would, and I'm going to update you guys on what happened this week in Call of Duty. And remember, the comments are your place to give your thoughts, to tell me what I missed, to do all that stuff. Let me know, most importantly, what you think about the show and what I can change about the show. And I know some of you guys are going to say I should do it on Twitch and I should do it live, and maybe eventually I will get there, but right now I'm a YouTuber, and so the show is going to be on YouTube. So the first thing I want to talk to you guys about today is actually that Sledgehammer Games is going to be making the next Call of Duty. Now, originally I had a lot of concern about this because I'm so used to the Treyarch type, the Treyarch Infinity Ward, Treyarch Infinity Ward, Treyarch Infinity Ward, and with Sledgehammer coming in, the reason Sledgehammer came in the first place is because Zampanella and all those guys left. The guys that are making Titanfall, they all left to start Respawn Entertainment, and so they brought in Sledgehammer, and Sledgehammer made the single player mode for Modern Warfare 3. And what I learned from Alex Rage, what I learned from him is that they actually did the DLC for Modern Warfare 3 as well, which means at least they have been exposed to multiplayer, but I am a little concerned, like, how is that going to relate to competitive Call of Duty? We know that Modern Warfare 3 was the last Call of Duty to not be on the circuit, and so I'm kind of wondering what that's going to be like. How are they going to do competitive? How are they going to support competitive? And this is a very touchy time for Call of Duty, as even competitively and relating to esports with Titanfall coming out. This is a very touchy time, and for Call of Duty to switch and have Sledgehammer make the next game, some people are saying it's a good thing. I don't know. It could be, it could not be. It's either going to kill Call of Duty or take it to the next level. So we're just going to have to wait and see. You guys can leave your comments about that in the comments below. The second thing I want to talk to you guys today, and this is pretty funny, the Clayster and Mboze spout that took place. If you have not seen it, I'll put a little link to the video up there in the corner. It is... it is an amazing video. Nadeshot uploaded it, and he explains in the beginning that there's no beef anymore between the two of them. And some people thought it was a joke, but you could hear the genuine beef taking place between them. Now, my only concern with all of this is that one of the things that drove Clayster crazy about Complexity is that they just made fun of him all the time. And he was the kind of guy, and he is the kind of guy who will just take it. You know, you roast Clayster over and over, and he's just going to take it. You know, and Mboze was going at him in this video, and their little spout, it was real. You know, Mboze was making points about that the flag was done. I'm not going to say who I agree with. I've asked some other people, like, who was actually right? Like, should Mboze have, when he respawned over by the white truck, should he have went back to the flag? I'm not going to speculate. I'm not going to go into that. I'm not a pro player, so I don't know. If there's any pro players watching this video and you want to comment, do your thing. You know, who was right in that? And you guys can tell me, who do you think was right? Because Mboze could have went back to the flag, but he didn't. He went for the cap, and they ended up losing by 2, and that started their whole argument on Warhawk Blitz. So, you know, it was an interesting time for the Green Wall. The funniest thing about it, though, is that Nadeshot and Scump were dying laughing and were egging on the fight. They were egging on this argument. And that, to me, like, watching someone else genuinely laugh makes me laugh. And so watching Nadeshot laugh so hard that he was clapping and just dying laughing, rocking back and forth, was hilarious. And so you guys got to check out that video. So the next thing I want to talk to you guys about is that Curse Las Vegas won the Winter Invitational. No surprises. I called this at the very beginning, and people were saying I was wrong when they started to lose. But Parasite, in his interview with Puckett, said, you know, he said some very smart things. And one of the things he said that I think was very smart is he said, you know, once we won a whole bunch in a row without losing, we won a whole bunch of matches, and we realized at that point we're in the finals. Like, we could lose every match, and we're still going to be in the top 4. So they just kind of slacked off a little bit. And they didn't slack off on purpose, but they knew that they were going to be in the last 4 and that they had to show up then, and they did. You know, when they played against SB, they beat them 6-3. When they played against Envy, they beat them 6-2, and they 6-0'd them in that search. And here's the thing. Search and destroy, it wins championships. They won both of the searches. That's what won them the match. You know, they lost 2 in a row to Envy after winning 2 in a row. It was 2-2, and then they won the next 4 maps, and it was over. And so, you know, LV again has solidified themselves as, in my mind, the top contender for taking down Complexity. I don't think anybody else is at their caliber of play. I agree with Clayster. He said that LV and Complexity are the 2 teams that, skill-wise, right now in the game, can beat Optic in a best-of-5 series. And I think it's very wise. I think it's very big of Clayster to say that. I'm going to take a drink of my coffee real quick because it's late. It's 12 o'clock in the morning. I wonder why Puckett never drinks coffee on stream. You know, I kind of think about stuff like that. Like, I know he's trying to be professional, and one day I want to sit at a desk like that, but I wonder why he never drinks coffee on stream. Because, you know, if they let me do something like that, I'd be just... And maybe you're not supposed to do it. Maybe it's bad professionalism, and I just did some bad professionalism. But this is my show. I can do whatever I want. So the next thing I want to talk to you guys about is the qualifiers are over, and 15 of the top 16 North American teams by pro points made it to the regionals, and the only team that was not in the top 16 is Final Boss. There was really no upsets. No upsets were made. The top 12, the teams that everybody was like, I hope none of them get upset, and maybe they're going to. It didn't happen, you know. And Merck actually tweeted out a few hours ago. He said, "I'm really shocked that there was no upsets. This will never happen again." And I replied to his tweet and I said, "You guys are pros, and we call you pros for a reason." And a lot of people, a lot of players, and a lot of amateur players, they'll look at pros and they'll say that they're like pros and that they just have better internet and better connection. They're actually just better. It's just like, you know, if you played one-on-one against Michael Jordan, he would beat you. If you played one-on-one against LeBron James, he would beat you. Kobe Bryant, all these guys, you know, Chris Paul even. They're better players. They're good and their IQ is high. You know, you watch all these guys play, and if you really think about it, we see what they do, and we think, you know, those top 16 teams, the teams that made it to COD Jams, we think like, well, they just all got lucky that they didn't get eliminated and blah, blah, blah. And no. These guys grind this game out, and none of us, and I hope that Burns Off answers, if I haven't told you guys already, Burns Off is the next pro view. He's a pro player for Cursed New York, that one of the teams that made it out today, that didn't make it out last week, but they made it out today. And one of the things he tweeted is, nobody understands how much you have to grind to play at their level. Like, you have to play Call of Duty for 12 plus hours a day. And the real deal is that we don't see the off-stream Skype calls, strategy sessions, and things like that they go through, and just playing by themselves that they go through to play at that level. It's not automatic, like you just get on the sticks and you're good. You have to play a lot. It's one of the main reasons Big Timer doesn't play anymore. And so, of all the teams that made it, and I want you guys to tell me who your top 4 would be. If I could only pick 4 of them that I know are going to make it out of regionals, and regionals is going to be amazing. It's going to be a double elimination bracket, and so it's going to be amazing. Second round is going to be scary because people could get eliminated, especially in that losers, but it's going to be amazing. And if I had to pick 4 teams that I know are going to make it, the teams that I would list is Complexity, Curse LV, those are givens, Optic Gaming, and TK. Now, I want to say SB or somebody like that instead of TK, but it's really about who shows up on LAN. And the real deal is that the reason why Envy is not on my list, and I know they've been playing well. Envy has been playing great. But the reason they're not on my list is because I don't know what's going to happen on LAN with Envy. I don't know if they're going to match what's going to happen on LAN with someone like Clayster. He's going to be consistent. Same as he is online, he's going to be just as good on LAN. Complexity has proved, by all the 2K series they've won, they've proved, and yes, I know, you guys are going to say in the comments, I know Optic beat them 6-1 in map count and all that kind of stuff today, but Complexity has proven that they can play on LAN and that they can play successfully on LAN. The only thing that a lot of these teams are going to be struggling with is not having a Scuf controller, which is the final subject for today, which is that Scuf Gaming, or Scuf, they actually, I think it is Scuf Gaming, they actually, and I'm not sponsored by them or anything like that, I'm just talking about the product, but Scuf Gaming released 4 teasers out of 8 for the new Scuf controller. They didn't show any paddles yet, but they showed like a grip, they showed that the sticks can be concave or domed. They showed like a little hidden hair trigger button or something like that. And so it looks like it's going to be the same amazing quality Scuf controller that we've always, known and loved. The one thing I'm wondering is it going to be done before COD Champs? I seriously doubt it. They'd have to have it done before. It'd have to launch early March in order for players to get their hands on it. What is it going to mean for competitive Call of Duty? The same thing that the Scuf meant on the 360. The minute players that have been using the Scuf can get their hands on it again, they're going to get their hands on it again. And so, in my opinion, the Scuf is a good decision. It's going to get the pro players back to what they're used to. And in Parasite's interview with, when they won the Invitational, in Parasite's interview with Puckett, one of the things he said it's funny watching all these players that are used to being able to challenge by using Scuf jumping and things like that, because they don't, on the Xbox One, they can't, they don't know how to turn a corner because you can't jump and turn and shoot at the same time, and so it's different, and it's, in my mind, I'm wondering what is going to happen at regionals without Scuf controllers. What's going to happen at COD Champs without Scuf controllers, because the COD Champs and the regionals are on the Xbox One, and what Parasite asked for, what a lot of pros are asking for, is for MLG to do some online tournaments, some 2Ks, maybe a 5K on the Xbox One. And he asked about that on stream, so I'm sure it's probably going to happen because it is a good idea to do that. And so if you guys don't know the teams that made it out today, I can list them off for you. I got it written down here. We've got Curse NY, Sigma, TVA, KG Adversity, Denial, Elevate, Living the Dream, and Final Boss. Those are the teams that made it out of the qualifiers today. And I'm sure you guys know the teams: FaZe and SB, Optic, TK, Envy, Curse LV, and I don't know who I'm forgetting, Justice Pro, the teams that made it out last week, the top 8 teams in the game. And so this LAN is going to be amazing. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to finding out more about the Scuf, and I'm really looking forward to doing more episodes of this show for you guys. I hope that you appreciate it. It is going to be something that's longer, and I'm going to be on here talking with someone else for a long time and just having a fun conversation. If any of you guys are in the gaming field and you maybe want to get a stab at being on the show, maybe I'll feature, a random subscriber or Twitter follower or something like that. If you're on an AM team or something and you want to get noticed, maybe I'll feature one of you guys on here. But nevertheless, this is your boy Kingdom Soldier, and I will see you in the next episode of the STiKS. Peace.